I've never felt so compelled to do something so much as filmmaking. I've never wanted anything more. Well, New York is where I grew up. I love New York. I don't think I could move anytime soon. Career-wise, I want to do the festival route. You know, I like the indie feel of New York. I like the idea of kind of getting recognized in the indie world. I don't need to be making millions of dollars. If I end up having to move to LA at some point, it would be because there's, you know, a really big job there, a really big opportunity for me. I also feel like being a female filmmaker, there's more opportunity for me in the indie world. Right now I'm in pre-production for my first feature film. It's called Summit. It's a film about 5 college friends that are going on a ski trip and they end up at the wrong location. And it's a fairly typical horror film setup, but it actually ends up going in a completely different direction about halfway through the film. And yeah, I mean, I'm constantly writing, so I've also got a million other projects that will probably go into full effect in February once we're done with Summit, so it's hard for me to stop working. I guess everything new is sort of the one that I'm most proud of. I just finished S.K.A, which is a dark comedy set in an absurd self-help group, and that was the first short out of my 4 that went completely as planned. And I think that also kind of shows how I've grown as a filmmaker from my first almost 3 years ago, where a lot of things didn't go as planned. So I guess I'm most proud of that. When I was writing Do-Over, I wrote the script and then realized at some point that I needed both an ambulance and I needed a mental institution. And being 20 years old and not having any access to either one, not knowing anyone that works in a field in either of those areas, I was just kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna make this work somehow. I searched forever trying to find something that would pass as a room in a mental institution and had a window on the door, because that was like the hugest part of the scene, was having a window on the door. And that didn't pan out because I couldn't find anything that would allow me to shoot there, anything that was actually like a mental institution or a hospital. And so I decided instead to just sneak into my school, Hunter College, because there was these rooms in the basement, these classrooms in the basement that have windows on the door. We snuck in and we shot it. I bought a blow-up mattress and a lawn chair from Kmart, and we just kept everything tight so it looked like my character was on a bed in a mental institution, and I just got, you know, some white scrubs and we pulled it off. And then the ambulance, I was freaking out because ambulance, you have to pay like $5,000 to rent for like 2 hours, and that wasn't going to happen. So I was just sort of trying to figure out what to do, and I happened to one day see this guy coming out of this emergency vehicle and decided to take a shot. I was wondering if it was possible, because he said that he volunteered at a fire department where they had an ambulance, and I asked if it was possible if I could just use it one night, like come over and shoot it. And so he gave me a number to call, and they agreed to let me use it. And we couldn't take it off of the location, but we were able to shoot it on an angle so that it looked like it was across the street from the house that we were using. I just recently was an instructor for this really, really awesome workshop called I Was There. And it's a workshop that works with soldiers that are recovering from PTSD, and you have about 4 or 5 days where you work with somewhere between 5 to 15 soldiers. And I just got back just last week. We went to Colorado for 5 days, and we worked one-on-one with soldiers to kind of help them develop a story that they wanted to tell, and we would shoot it and edit it in 4 days. And it was just kind of for them to find a way to come to terms with what they had experienced, and I absolutely loved it. It was the most rewarding experience. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing that one in October, and I'm really hoping that maybe it could turn into a monthly gig, and then that on top of my own projects could just sort of be my lifestyle. You know, that would be awesome, because I really don't want to have to do anything else but film in some capacity, whether it's that, you know, helping people tell their stories or, you know, telling my own.